Hello, it is Wednesday. It's been a while since I've done one of these, and that's because I've not really had time on Wednesdays because I've been doing other things, such as relaxing, mostly. My partner had some time off work, so we did being on holiday things, which didn't involve a lot of painting. But I'm back now, doing the paints, and I have mostly been painting things that you will have seen on my Instagram if you follow my Instagram. Unrelated, follow my Instagram, there's a link in the description, down there. So here is Sister Amalia Novem, Amalia, I don't know how to pronounce her name. Coming on quite well. There is a video on Patreon, don't know if I've mentioned it already, showing how to paint the red armour using dry brushing. And I'll be doing a video on how I paint the different blacks, for there are 3 different blacks on this model. We've got the... that was bound to happen. We've got the black of the corset, the black of the robes, which is a slightly more shiny bluer black, and as you can see she's not assembled yet, and the black of the bolt gun. These are all different. In fact, the entire bolt gun I got on video. So that'll be going up on Patreon this week sometime, which means that the video for the red armour should actually be coming off Patreon shortly afterwards. So if you want to see how I paint those, and no airbrushing was involved anywhere on this model. It's all been traditional brush painting. So yeah, that's coming to Patreon soon. I've also been painting Mollog, who is here and looks like this, who I've been really enjoying just kind of pootling about on. I've not been doing this guy on camera, but I have been doing written guides to everything that are on my Patreon as well. I need to touch up those mushroom stalks a bit. I've mostly just been kind of messing about with dry brushing. Again, no airbrushing involved on this model at all. This has been painted entirely with dry brushing. I painted him mostly in the Games Workshop store while I was waiting for Everchosen to resolve. And I can't remember now if I've done a video on that, but I won. I won my local store's Everchosen with a raptor. There's a picture on the community tab for the channel. It's one of the raptors I painted for Golden Demon. I fixed up some mistakes that I found on him, tarted up some areas, generally tidied him up, and entered him into Everchosen. There were only about 8 other entries at my local store, so competition wasn't particularly fierce, but my local store is more of a gamer's store rather than a painter's store. And I won. I also won the Open with my Orc truck conversion that you may have seen before. It's definitely been featured on this channel before. But yeah, while I was waiting for that, I basically stood in the store and dry brushed Mollog into these colours. I did all of the flesh areas inside in the store, and then when I got back over the last week or so, I've been doing the mushrooms that are on top of him there. I'm really happy with those. I also changed his face a little bit, gave it a bit more contrast, a bit more detail. And that's pretty much it. That's all I've really been doing for painting last few weeks. I did a little bit more on the engine for my Orc. Shock Jump Dragster. So it's a little bit more greasy. I went with, suggested in the comments, Vallejo Game Color Smoky Ink 72068. I actually already had it, I'd forgotten about it. It's really, really good. Just thin it down with a little bit of water or lime medium or whatever you've got. And then it gives it this nice kind of slightly greasy looking finish. And it's still shiny, which is what I like about it. I also applied a little bit of the old Druchii Violet in there as well, just to give it a bit of a purple tint in some areas for a bit more oil and grease. And I painted up the glow effect of the shock jump lightning whatever that's inside these little balls that's powering the entire shock jump engine. So yeah, did a bit more on that. I haven't done anything else much on that vehicle since. Like I said, I've been taking it easy during the really hot weather that we've been having. Although it's peeing down with rain today. But yeah, a bit too hot to paint, so I decided to take some time off. I don't think you can blame me, really. That's about it. There's not a lot else to update. Like I said, got some more Sister Amalia videos coming to Patreon soon. Basically, she's going to have 3 parts. One is the red armor. The one coming up is basically all of the black parts and the metallics. The metallics are demoed on the bolt gun, but they're repeated across the rest of the entire model. And then I'm just going to do a 3rd part video where I just paint her head. And that'll be it. I'm not going to go over some of the other details, for example, the leather straps, the grenades, the rosary beads, the purity seal. I'm not going to bother with those because they're the same as anything else. So, you know, look at, you know, just check out my video on painting leather straps, check out my video on painting any Space Marine that's got a purity seal on it. You know, all of that stuff you can figure out, but I did the blacks differently to how I normally do them. And the metallics I didn't do differently, but I did just kind of do them better than I normally do them, so I'm kind of chuffed with them. And she should be finished, hopefully, well, everything apart from the head on her should be finished this time next week, I hope, and then I just got the head to paint. So she'll be done soon, and then I've got to paint the base. I might give the base its own video as well, because it's a nice base. But then again, I might not. Just to speed up. And she may end up, assuming I don't paint anything better between now and Golden Demon next year, being my entry into Warhammer 40k single figure Golden Demon in 2020, assuming I go, which I probably will. So yeah, I've been taking my time on her. There's a few touch-ups that need doing as well. And that's it. Not really done anything else painting-wise. I'm not big into Warcry, which seems to be doing the rounds at the moment. People seem to be into that. Personally, it doesn't really appeal to me as a game system. I like some of the paint jobs that other people have been doing on the models that I've been seeing around. For some reason, the stock paint jobs from Games Workshop really just made the models look more cartoony and stupid than they sculpts already were. But some of the paint jobs that I've seen other people doing on them have kind of reined that in and pulled it back and made them look less cartoony and stupid, and it's kind of balanced it out. I think if you apply a cartoony, like really highly saturated bright colours, smooth blends, heavy metal style paint job onto a already over the top model, it makes it look worse, in my opinion, than if you do something realistic. For example, the Imperial Guard Taurox looked absolutely ridiculous in the heavy metal paint job with the turquoise colouring and everything, but then I saw some highly weathered versions that other people that like do scale models and stuff do, and it actually looks really good, even with the tracks for wheels. So it just goes to show a good paint job can change how a model looks. And I sometimes feel like Games Workshop shoots themselves in the foot by insisting on these really clean, brightly coloured paint jobs for some of their models, which I think don't benefit from it. Kind of interested in the new Vanguard Space Marines that are coming out, but to be honest, don't really have enough time to paint an army, or even a kill team at the moment. I'm still kind of... I still want to work through my Night Haunts that I'm painting, but I've been distracted by Sister Amalia, and I'm just super stoked for Sisters of Battle. Cannot wait for them to come out. If you're on the Discord, you notice that I just created a Sisters of Battle channel where I just post pictures of the Sisters of Battle that I find, and rant and rave about how amazing they're going to be, and how I can't wait to paint them. So I really hope they're going to come out in the next year. I really hope that. I mean, to be honest, it looks like some of the most recent pictures they've been doing of Sisters of Battle. Let's see if this is the thing. Yeah, the most recent pictures they released on the Sisters of Battle bulletin have been looking like the pictures from the instruction manuals. Like, they've been rendered in this style. as opposed to the realistic rendering that they were using on previous Battle Sister bulletins, which suggests that the instruction booklets are done, which means that the sprues are done, they're laid out and they've been cut. The dies have been cut for injection moulding, which means that they're in production / have already been, some kits have been produced to their target volumes, which means that we should be seeing them in the next 6 months. I hope. I mean, this is all just speculation on my part, but I'm excited and I hope that they come before or around next Warhammer Fest in 2020. I think that would be a good reveal, and I'm pretty sure they could line up a whole bunch of Battle Sisters cosplayers to show up and promote that for next Warhammer Fest. I think that would be good. I think it would be a great way of getting more women into the hobby. But you know, the best way of getting more women into the hobby is to stop trying to push them out. I'm sure that all the people watching this video don't do that, but I have been in Games Workshop stores in the past and I know that it happens. So, you know, don't do that. Be more inclusive. And if you see people not being inclusive, call them out on it. Don't stand for that stuff. This is a fun hobby and everyone should be able to do it. Good stuff. I know you're all lovely people. Anyway, that's pretty much it for this update. Yeah, I think that's it. The Everchosen website will be going live this weekend, I believe. I think it's this weekend, I can't remember for certain. I would appreciate it if you went and voted for my model. You'll be able to find the picture, like I said, in the community below. And next week, I'll mention it again in next week's vlog. And I don't know how the website's going to work, so I don't know if I can just put a link to this in the description to where you can go and click and find my picture and vote on it, or if they're going to do something to try and enforce some kind of randomness in how the pictures are shown. Who knows? It may end up just being whoever has the most Instagram followers wins in this particular contest. But it may also be like Eurovision, where the public vote doesn't count for anything and the judges will anyway. Nobody knows. So, that's it. Thank you for watching. Thank you for sticking with me. I hope you have in all of this heat. And if you're in the southern hemisphere, I hope you're having a good winter. Because, you know, that's a thing. While we may be boiling up here, it's quite cold down there. So, there you go. Can't record audio. Another app is using the mic. That's not true. Anyway, we'll see if that's true or not. Bye-bye.